Thank you. Let's go to the next speaker. I welcome Daniele Catteddu. He is from Italy. He's the Managing Director Europe at the Cloud Security Alliance, CSA, an institution that was founded in 2009. And it's a not-for-profit organization, and it has a clear mission to promote the use of best practices for providing security assurance within cloud computing. Please tell us a little bit about your perspective.
So thanks a lot for the intro. So as you said, the organization I do represent is called Cloud Security Alliance, and what we do is, in essence, research in the area of cloud computing, research that are freely available on our website. And the idea is to try to give our contribution to a more trustable cloud market. Now, I want to take, to make my points, the statement that described this panel. And you started up by asking some of the question, what we need in order to restore the trust. Now, there are some, like at least 3 or 4 buzzwords around what is necessary to establish trust. The biggest one is perhaps transparency. Which is not definitely just a buzzword, it's something concrete. Now, one of the most cited name so far in this conference has been Snowden. By the end of the 2 days, I think we will be repeating this name 4,000 times. Everybody seemed to have his own take out of what happened. To me, I look this as a very big opportunity. Because what Snowden is telling us is that there might be both industrial and institutions, as well as public institutions, spying on us. It's not just about NSA. Nobody has to be naive and try to hide himself behind the finger. It's a practice that I would argue that many countries are putting in place. It's a matter of national security. But what Snowden might help us in doing in the cloud is to bring more transparency, because that was a wonderful spot to get users more educated on what they should be demanding on both cloud providers and their government on the level of transparency that is necessary in order to access data. It's not just about providers, it's also about our law enforcement authorities. It is fair enough that the authority, the data protection authority in a country is aware of what kind of information the security agency is accessing to make their investigation. On the other point on certification, so we have been discussing a lot about this idea of European cloud. It's still vague on my mind what that would look like. Right? So are we talking about a big pan-European publicly owned organization where services of the public administration are, from where services to the public administration are offered? Or are we looking at something that is going to deliver services to the private companies as well? From my understanding of the discussion of this morning, the idea is more to target public administration to make them more efficient. But if we need a certification for Europe, well, my point of view is that no, we do not need a certification for Europe. What we need is clear requirements for Europe, which is different, because once you figure out exactly what you need, which are the common requirements across Europe, then it's just a matter of identifying, if already in the market, if there is a solution to certify those requirements or the existence of those requirements. Udo was mentioning, the work that ENISA has been doing since 2009, and at that time I was actually working at ENISA, and I was the person that was running those activities. Since then, so now we are 2014. I still remember one of the press speech of the Commissioner Cruz making good reference to the good work done by ENISA. That was 2011, and she was saying, we have been doing enough of investigation, it's now time to act. Now, we are now in 2013, and the situation is still, we have been doing a lot of analysis, but it's still time to act. I'm not saying that we haven't done much. I'm saying that perhaps the speed of action is not the one that we should be looking at. And again, one of the main barriers that has been mentioned many times this morning is about legal framework. I do agree. I mean, everybody agrees that the complexity of the legal framework might be a barrier for cloud adoption. Point being that to change regulation, it doesn't take one day. So if we wait for the perfect legal framework to be in place, I suspect we will be waiting for cloud to be adopted in Europe for the next 5 years. So is that what we are looking for? Maybe not.
Well, thank you very much for your